Hello, everybody. What's going on? My Draw Dunders and Jaded Valkyrie Marathon welcoming. Yeah, imagine being late here on stream. Only losers do that. What's going on, guys? I did watch Invincible, but that was not why I was late. Okay. Let's jump in here and paint something. So, yeah, it was a great episode. Yeah. Alright. Here is what we're gonna do. I am going to paint the dad. No. Alright. We're gonna paint some Luke today. Look at old Luke Skywalker here. I'll work on this dude. Or I can assemble some terrain that no one can see because it's too big. So let's do this. And the first thing I'm going to do is work on the fur a bit. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take some, we're going to do bright warm gray. Whoa, is that cutting out? What's that doing? You know, I do agree. The episode did feel super anime. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. The whole like flying through the planet scene and then the way he fights and stuff is all like super anime. Okay, I'm gonna take this gray and I'm gonna mix a little white in with it. Body by early Dragon Ball Z Goku. Yeah. What's up, Quishy? We'll do 50-50. White and bright warm gray. Mix this up and then see if I can't good dry brush out of this. Playing some video games, nice. Slept until 5 p.m. That sounds great, honestly. Gonna be honest with you guys. I kind of want to play more Shadow of the Horned Rat. I was having fun with that game by the end of it. Some meds that make you drowsy? That's too bad. Daredevil's really good? Nice. Alright. That's cool. I have to catch up and watch the Boys episode this week or weekend or something. Oh, Tauntauns. You thought you smelled bad on the outside. Gunpla painting stream? Probably next week. Yeah, that's my guess. Might be painting some Gunpla next week. If that's something you guys are curious about, I got a very specific one to paint. Had to figure out my colors. I gotta get the thing based primed and everything. I have to be careful because of the type of plastic it's made of. It'll make it difficult to paint without pulling the paint off. Then yesterday I was showing off the terrain that you printed for me. It's crazy. Pieces are... Oh yeah, you were here. I was showing it off. That's right. I haven't put it together, but I did a mock-up of the third piece that I have. The third terrain piece. And it looks good. And there's options for it, which is crazy and really cool. So, yeah, how you doing today, man? Nook and you watch. That's right. That's right. Don't remember what I was doing yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Okay, I like this white fur that I have going. This 50-50 mix of bright warm gray and old titanium white here. Project manager set a meeting up for 4 p.m. Ugh, okay, that's too bad. Night Trap, welcome in. The Raptors? Oh, your Raptors came in. Oh, really cool. All right. Nice. And John Lockridge, welcome in. Have I seen trailers or updates for the upcoming Here's My Magic game? Not in the past, like, week or two. I saw they had a release date, right? Is it April? Is that the release date? It was pretty fun. I played the demo a bit. It's still the Emperor's Children as the background. That's weird. Is there even a way to change that? I don't know why that would be the background still after been like 2 years or something. Maybe at least a year. Okay, some dry brush on that fur. I'm gonna add a little bit of this gray into mostly white. Yeah, there we go. April 30th. Okay, okay. Yeah, we'll see. I am looking forward to that one. Like I said, I played the demo quite a bit. I think I didn't enjoy the demo quite as much as like just going back and playing 3. But it's good, and I understand that they've, that developer has been taking community feedback very seriously. So they have changed and possibly improved quite a bit. I do wish they had more classic factions, but I think they'll eventually get there. I mean, they got Necropolis, so I can't be too upset. It was always my favorite faction. Who's mounted Imperial Guard, guys? Seen some mounted on Dino Lizards. Oh, okay. Huh. I'm not sure. Not sure what you're talking about, Peter. Yep. This is for this is a Star Wars Legion mini. Okay, that's a good tauntaun. I'm happy with that. I think we do tauntaun claws from here. Let's do those next because I know what to do on them. We're going to take some of this dark golden brown, and then we're going to take olive flesh. These are our two colors to get these looking proper. Yeah, they do have Necropolis in the new olden era. Here's Might Magic. Okay, so we mixed first bit of olive flesh into here. It's not going to look like much of a change at first, or it's going to look kind of off. You guys will see it'll turn into a very convincing, like, bone color. Yeah, it is a Star Wars mini. After the horns, we want all but just like the deepest recesses to be covered here. Faction focus videos for heroes. They tried to put all except for Necropolis, just a Skeleton King. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Getting into it, huh? Into the memes. Do they still have a demo available, or is it not available anymore? First coat on that horn. We'll get this other horn. You don't have a computer for playing games on? Okay. I feel like that game could probably run on a potato, basically. I guess you have to have a computer to run it, right? It's just our first coat for the horn. And he's got little horns on his head that I kind of cover with the dry brush that I'll get. King Laptop got killed a couple years ago by a cat. Oh, no, that's no good. Still is demo, okay. I know Steam is coming out with the Steam Machine. That's supposed to be like a, you know, it's just a PC meant for gaming. Doesn't that come out like this summer or something? I don't think they have prices on it yet. But it's supposed to be like a pretty, like a mediocre gaming PC. You're not going to play like AAA games or like, you know, the newest AAA games, I guess, on it. But it's competent for like 80 to 90% of the games you'd want to play on PC. And I've honestly looked into that as a something for my son to have, depending on how aggressively it's priced. Okay, we mixed in some more of that olive flesh. There was a new movie trailer for Godzilla Minus Zero. There was like a little teaser. Anybody see that? I really liked Godzilla Minus One. I mean, I always like Godzilla movies, so. Pretty easy for me to look forward to this movie. I'm doing putting this color on, but I'm skipping over some of the recesses that I painted last step. That's all it is. PS5 Steam Machine is competent. Yeah, PC game's better. My tablet only because the camera was damaged. Cost 50%. Here are laptops cost that my friend and I have my mind blown. Yeah. $7,000. That's not US dollars, is it? That is a crazy amount for any kind of laptop.
Look at me!
Hey, Leo, what's going on? Better turn that Tauntaun to Echo Base before it freezes to death. Yeah. Just needs a couple coats and it'll be warm enough. Where am I looking? What's going on? And whips? Alright, Quishy. One moment, let me finish this coat here. Meantime, guys, go look at Quishy's work. The Whips channel in Discord. I think I've kind of made up my mind on a basing scheme here for my rebels. I wanted to do two things. One was I wanted to have some kind of snow in the scheme. And then two, I wanted a basing scheme that didn't exclude all of the other rebel minis that aren't Echo base minis. It's like the basic rebel troopers and commandos and all this stuff. I didn't want to paint them as snow stuff anyway. So about finding a balance. So I think I have a basing scheme. Tauntaun will freeze before it reaches the first marker. Yeah. All right, let's take a look. What did Quishy post? Oh, sweet Dark Reaper. What like turquoise color is that, Quishy? Really nice color. Great work. And is he magnetized or just the weapon? The weapon looks unpainted. I'm not sure if that's a gray that you used or if that is just unpainted plastic and maybe it's magnetized or something. I don't know if you'd need to magnetize those. Tear down turquoise. Okay, that makes sense. Turquoise contrast, yeah. Nice. Very good work, Quishy. Guys, go check out Quishy's Dark Reaper. It's a gray painted gun. Okay, okay. Nice. Very cool. Great work. And good pro. You've painted a lot of minis this year. It seems like it. But I was talking about basing schemes. So the way I'm going to base these minis, I'm going to do snow bases. But it's only going to be like partially snow. So I'm going to put snow effects on top of like some earth, basically. The idea being, hey, thanks, Leo, just a dry brush. It's basically all it is. There's a base coat, a little bit of like a zenith all over a brown, and then I put a kind of a simple wash, and then it's a dry brush. So so I'm gonna do mostly snow, or mostly like just like earth, maybe like dead earth or like a brown earth, and then I'm gonna put some snow effects on top of it. Not to cover all of it or anything, but just enough that it's there, and then when I go to paint the other minis to add into the list, I can have, you know, kind of somewhat snowy bases, but I don't, hopefully they don't look out of place. Then I can still have a convincingly Hoth themed army from the outset. That's the idea. What are you guys up to? How's everybody's Wednesday? Place on Hoth that's not over iced. Yeah, yep. Right, but what I don't want to do is, I don't want to end up having like painting my Hoth veterans in greens and browns, you know. But then I don't want a bunch of different basing styles, because if I want to field stuff in the same army, because ultimately when you play this game, like, rebel veterans are the Hoth troops, but they don't have to go into a Hoth specific list, so you can just add them into a list. So I want them to be you know, in theme, but not so stuck in the theme that I can't use them for something else. Dead? Okay. I'm sorry. That sounds terrible. Storm forecast down here tomorrow, so hopefully it knocks down some of the pollen. Yeah. We're supposed to get some possibly pretty serious storms this evening. Hey, Frankie Fingers, what's up? Travarian was in Zamikido's stream collab video, so I spied him for. Oh, cool. All right. Okay, I'm gonna do some pure olive flesh now. We're gonna try this as a bit of a highlight plus a little extra. Did anybody read the new article from GW about 11th edition yet? They talk about like charges in combat and how things have changed. My takeaway from this article and from some of the other articles they've posted, and they don't even say that they're going to do more rules articles. So is this all the changes? It seems like there's not too many changes, but I feel like there have been bigger changes than just usual balance data slates in the past. In this 10th to 11th. You know, if you feel like 10th edition, good for you. You're not changing a whole lot. But some of the stuff just seems kind of unnecessary. I don't know. None of it's ever necessary, though, right? Like they have a new rule that you do pile-ins at the very start of combat. So everybody makes their pile-ins. So, you know, you all pile in, and then you start choosing fights and everything. But you might think, well, if you already piled in and then units die, what happens when you're out of engagement range? You know, if you already piled in, but if you're out of engagement range, then you get an additional pile in. So you just get 6 inches of free movement to get into combat, and you can pile into units you're not engaged with. So if you do that 6 inches, you could potentially get like an 18-inch charge into somebody. Is my understanding with that, which seems a little excessive. Hey, Pipme, welcome. How are you doing? Just painting some minis. Painting a Star Wars mini here. See, I'm not quite getting the point of the combat changes for 11th edition. It seems like there's a lot of just circling around. Northern Canada until August. By huge totes of flames of war, only found in the house. Oh, cool. All right. That's cool. Free or cheap flames of war minis. $20 Canadian per tote. It's crazy. I'm gonna pay this figure you're working on, but haven't dove into creatures much yet. Yeah. This is yeah, Luke on the Tauntaun. I didn't realize these were coming out, and I saw it, and I was like, man, that's cool. I had to get it, so I got the. Also got a couple other things, like the Echo-based Defenders set. Just busted out some of my old Legion minis. We're in the Stormtrooper Battalion Force. Nice. That's not the Cheese Whiz. You're not talking about the Blizzard Force, right? Just the classic, like, Stormtrooper Battalion. Did you grab the starter set? Make a little glaze here. This we're gonna try to blend this flesh together a little more. I love that they're redoing stuff in plastic. I think that's a huge deal. I think that's really cool. Like all those older sculpts that are, frankly, pretty poor looking compared to the newer stuff. It's nice that it's getting its time in the sun. Seven squads of stormtroopers. Nice. That's good. Yeah, a little simple glaze added some nice color there. Let that dry for a minute, and while we do, in Luke's face. In Recon, 600-point game, you do 6 squads. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. New ones are amazing to put together. That's good to know. I have only worked with the older Stormtrooper minis. I painted more than a few core sets for people. That classic core set. And I have to say, just about every model in that core set is pretty bad. So it's good that they're redoing that stuff. And I'm looking forward to more stuff just getting the hard plastic redo. Yeah, and I think my son wants to buy a bunch of minis for himself, so he's actually like, this might be his first true like foray into miniature gaming, and it's gonna be Mandalorians. He wants that Mando box set, so we're gonna keep an eye out. I'm gonna pre-order for him, and this summer I guess we're gonna have a lot of painting to do together. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Yeah. Had to have painted 5 of those Vaders from that set. And I hated each one. Okay, I think that might be good for Tauntaun skin. Mostly lurking. What's up? What's up, Chipper? How you doing? No problem. Yeah, Mando's have some good stuff coming out. Yeah, he wants to get that box, the starter box, and then I will probably grab the Heroes of Mandalore set, or whatever that set's called, with all the characters. I'll get that for him. Just so he's got a decent little start, and then as things kind of come out, we'll grab. And the nice thing about Legion is it's really easy to keep up with just one faction. Very easy. And, you know, very cheap compared to just about every other miniature game out there. It shouldn't. Legion, after hearing they're going to better plastic. Yeah, the PVC models were initially, in my opinion, bad. The later end of their PVC minis, or they call it soft plastic, but the tail end of those were fantastic. But, you know, working with PVC plastic is a completely different beast than working with hard plastic. When the Clone Wars came out, that was like 2019 maybe? Yeah, into 2019. That's when their initial hard plastic came out, and they had like a mixed core set. So like all the clone stuff was the soft plastic, and then I think all the droid stuff was hard plastic. And at that point, they had 2 more characters come out that were soft plastic. It was Rex and Count Dooku, and then every other release has been hard plastic since like 2020. And they're just, they just knock it out of the park with their minis anymore. Squishy minis are not good. Yeah, the soft plastic. I have some really good soft plastic minis, and like the characters they did after the first like year and a half, the characters they did were really good. That first year, the characters were pretty rough. Like Han and Leia are probably some of the worst looking minis that they had. The original Han and Leia minis, and they have since had I think 3 Leias. The third one came with the Echo base box that's plastic. I don't know if the second one's plastic or not. But then they've had a couple Hans, including Han on a Tauntaun, and that's Luke, not Han. But he's part of the set. And then they have 2 more Han Solo minis coming out, or they had one that came out in a big box of like the classic Rebel heroes, and then they have another one coming out where you take him as a unit paired with Chewbacca. And that's just how they're taken, which is really cool. So they're like their own unit, as just like an operative or elite unit or whatever. Which is something else I really like that they're doing, because for a long time, hero spam was bad. It was like 2, maybe 3 heroes was good, but if you took more than that, it was a detriment. Because when you pay for heroes, you pay for a lot of other things like their command cards, and you can only ever have 6 command cards in your hand that you choose. So bringing multiple heroes was a bad idea. But now they're changing, not changing, but they're adding different ways to bring heroes as just normal units. So you pay for them, but then they don't come with the command cards. Which is nice. It's a great way of doing it. Or like the new Jedi that are coming, they have like a Jedi Council set. And the Jedi Council set, all of the Jedi have rules that you can just add them as unit leaders to squads of clones. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see. I want a whole army of Jedi. That is an honest goal of mine, is for them to release specific squads of like Jedi Sentinels or like the Temple Guardians and stuff, and then make a battle force that's nothing but Jedi. I think that'd be really cool. Scout Trooper Sniper Squad. Yeah, they have a whole bunch of stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, I would have thought a ground combat game for Star Wars would run out of minis pretty quick. But man, they've kept it going, and I can still think of a ton of stuff they have to release. So good for them. Like, big discussion on a Gungan army and how cool an entire Gungan army could be. Or they could eventually move into the sequel era, but there's not much in the sequel era compared to the others. That kind of a diamond pattern on his jacket. I'm going to start by just highlighting those. And then we'll go in with kind of our different lighting areas. Alright. Jacket looking pretty good. I think it is. It is looking pretty good. Possibly do just a slightly brighter highlight on this color. The trick for a lot of Star Wars minis that I've found when you paint them is since the miniatures are based on costumes or live action characters, the color choices are a lot different. Oh, nice, nice. Welcome back, Chipper Phoenix. So, you know, when you're dealing with a real-world color palette, it's a lot different than something like Warhammer, where You know, you make the colors because the miniatures exist and you want people to paint them in bright colors and such. So you'll get stuff like, a miniature that just wears all black. Like a character that just wears all black, like Darth Maul or Vader or uh, Emperor Palpatine or something. And when you're painting the mini, it's like, yeah, okay, I just paint it all black and just, highlight some black and I'm done. But in reality, you have to find like creative ways to separate out the colors on the mini. So you can tell that there are other features on the miniature besides just a black blob or whatever. And for something like this Luke mini, it's a lot of different shades of brown. And I think we joke about how Pro Curl has like 100 different shades of brown. But it's kind of useful if I'm being honest when you're painting minis like this. Alright, that is a nice looking vest he has there. Chipper, how's your day been? Specific paint set that simulates colors, grading in the original trilogy. Are you talking about the Army Painter set? It was like a Star Wars Legion paint set. Is that the one you're talking about? They had a couple they came out with. They had like a Separatist and a Republic set, I think, is what they did. I have one of those sets. Yeah. I got one, not just because it was like, ooh, Star Wars. I bought it because I was teaching some people how to paint. And I wanted to get paint. I didn't want to use like my nicer paints, and so I was like, I'll buy a cheaper paint set, and I need a paint set that has like these elements. And it was the Star Wars paint set that had all the elements I needed. Take the pups out before she went to work. Bed, sleep for 3 more. Oh, nice. Okay. Good deal getting a nap. Very nice. Hey, Spill Paint Pot, what's going on? I'm not playing old video games right now. Greenleaf, welcome in. Welcome in. You're here to bother? Yeah, that sounds about right, Greenleaf. Do you need to specify? Not GW. No, we're being lame today. You are right. Work for the government, adding a few upgrades. My Magnus the Red deck. Oh, nice. Okay. Working on some magic. I have to tell you, Spill Paint Pot. I was at my local store yesterday evening, and I got there and I was picking up some stuff, and I was chatting with a newer employee at the front desk that I'd never met before, and I'm there quite a bit, and I think this person was newer, but he was very, very chatty. But we were talking about games, and I bought a Star Wars Legion set, and he's like, "Oh, cool Legion." He's like, "I just do an inventory on those." He's like, "Super cool," and we were chatting about it, and he's like, "Man," he's like, "I play Malifaux," and I was like, "Excuse me." So I can officially, I have met 3 people in person who play Malifaux. 3. Yeah, coming out there right now. Yeah, yeah. I told him I had a friend that lives out of state that plays, and might be coming up this summer and teach me how to play. He's like, "Oh, sweet." He's like, "That's really cool." Yeah. So you played Malifaux in first edition, First Order versus the Imperium of Man. Hmm. I can see arguments for either side winning. It just depends on how their technology matches up. They do exist. Yeah, yeah. It was funny. There was one guy I met, and I won't forget this dude because his name was Frank, and I can count on one hand the number of people I've met named Frank, and I think it was just that one guy. But and it was like 10 years ago, and I think I was teaching him Star Wars Armada, and he mentioned he played Malifaux. That was his game, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I've never met anyone that plays that game." That was the first one. Hopefully another 10 years I'll meet another 3 people that play. He said there's a really big. He said like Central Ohio doesn't have a very big community. He said up near like Toledo, Ohio, is like where everybody in Ohio plays, but that's also like a 2.5 hour drive from where we are, so he doesn't get to play much. Richmond Open in Virginia. Oh, cool. All right. Nice, nice playing the tournament. You have to report your results out there in Pernone and Noobs. I'm wrong. I'm wrong about what? About I don't know who would win in a fight. Oh, and 5 flip well. Oh no. All right, spill paint pot for best painted. That's what we're going for. That's funny, actually. All right. Question. Hey, Adventure Build Gaming, welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing great, and I appreciate the compliments. We're just working on a Luke Skywalker on a Tauntaun here. Yeah, I think this warm gray is my next color here. Just some pure bright warm gray. The great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. What are you into, Adventure Build Gaming? I assume you play some games. Yeah. My powers of deduction are unreal. What do you play? What do you collect? Do you play like tabletop mini games? Is it just like board games and such, or are you into something else? Skirmish games. Oh, cool. Any particular one? Games Workshop. So what else? I know Blackout is kind of a newer one that's been popular. Trench Crusade. As far as skirmish games go, Middle Earth strategy battle game is probably my favorite. Although it's probably more of a war game with just like some skirmish elements to it. So maybe that's just a little bit disingenuous, but playing Stargrave. Oh, cool. All right. Now, I'm not super familiar with Stargrave. Is as a skirmish game, do you like pick factions in Stargrave? Like, are there like different factions or like, I guess like races or something that you pick, or how does that work? And it's more focused on like a campaign system, right? Pick your captain and his abilities. Okay, okay. They're like classes. Which, from the little I've read of Frostgrave, sounds familiar. Very close. Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot. It didn't hurt anything. Casually just slip and jab the brush into the mini. Professional, guys. You also stream here and there? Cool. You stream playing or painting? This other arm. Oh, I would love to stream playing games. I absolutely love it. But there are so many factors that go into that I'm not like equipped to do right now. Models and miniatures. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not a good time to buy parts to make a computer or whatever that can run games, right? Pretty sorry state for all of that. Okay, we're gonna up around his head. This color. Pieces. Building terrain and painting on stream for now. Yeah. The terrain you build, is it like sets you're buying, or are you printing terrain and building it? How are you doing terrain? I have a bunch of 3D printed terrain to work on. Friend Zendraw just printed for me. Lots of scratch building, nice. Terrain is for nerds. Alright. Greenleaf, you are sitting in a live stream on Twitch right now, literally watching paint dry, and then you're gonna call people nerds. Thou doth protest too much. It says I'm watching. You're doing enough, alright? I'm sorry, if you're not watching, then you're listening to paint dry. which may even be worse. Little oopsie over here. Let's quick feeling friendly. Yeah, yeah. Until somebody abuses it. Real Nerd is on the half watching stream and half window shopping on the GW website. Yeah. Of course. No, I appreciate it. Sure, Instagram. Tune in for the smooth sounds of DJ TPD and the melodic brush rinsing ASMR. Oh, cool terrain. All right. Good stuff. Oh yeah, I see the Beastmen and some Battlefleet Gothic minis. Classic. Are those Necromunda? Classic metal Necromunda minis. Trench Crusade. All right. Lots of different stuff. Dang. Oh, I like the trench bunkers. Those are cool looking. Those are really cool looking. Great stuff. Yeah. Seriously, good looking stuff here. Old Earth. Oh, the old Killacan. I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, those trenches look great. Those are really cool looking. Okay, our next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do one more kind of stage on the Grey on Luke. Yeah, building and painting on stream. That's sweet. That's really cool. I want to paint a simple terrain on stream, but my camera doesn't zoom out far enough. I could probably swap the lens, but seems like a lot of effort. Something smaller, yeah. Well, the terrain I have to work on are big pieces right now. Old chunky pieces of terrain. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I paint the occasional piece of terrain lying around when I got it. I have like a totally different mindset when I paint terrain compared to painting minis. where I'm always kind of focused on like getting the project done, and like that's always a big deal to me. But painting terrain, it's like a whole other level of what are like rules we can break to paint this faster and it looks great. Like a fun, different mindset. Hey, Raja, what's going on? Just working on Luke at the moment. See where my ADHD takes me. Nice, nice. I commission paint, so well, this mini is mine and not a commission. A lot of what I do is dictated by what other people want me to do. So I still try to find time to paint my own things. Much Zoom meeting with someone, single training program I was in previously, about to head out to get a haircut. Oh, cool. All right. That's right. It's your day off, isn't it? Yeah. Day off is never truly a day off, is it? Okay, very nice. While we're trying to be efficient here, I would say, yeah, I appreciate it, Raja. Yeah, you have a great day as well. Patreon Hangout's still on for tonight, so anybody who's interested in hanging out, yeah, yep. I might be closer to 9 when I get on, because my son has a soccer clinic tonight. It doesn't end until 8:30, so. Evening's gonna take a bit longer than it usually does. Okay, I'll keep that. Let's do the let's paint some dark browns. The saddle here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some of that, this black brown. Yeah, and I'm gonna mix in, I'm gonna try a little different. I'm gonna mix in this bright brown gray. So we're gonna start with black brown, we're gonna mix in the bright brown gray. Try to keep it more on the gray side, because we're doing what I can to add variation in all these random shades of brown on this mini. Yeah, so every Wednesday evening, anyone who is a paid member of the Patreon can come hang out. They have access to like some special Discord channels in in the Discord server, and yeah, every Wednesday night we do like just like a hobby hangout. So yeah, we just hang out and chat for a couple hours while we just kind of do whatever. Good time. Like that's your goal. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. I am planning on painting a whole Rebels army. Yeah. So I have a nice collection, kind of waiting in the wings. There are some new minis that came out in the past couple weeks. These Tauntaun riding characters are among them. But yeah, this was kind of my opportunity. I haven't played Legion in a while. I actually played a game last night. Did like a relearning game. I used to play this game a ton, but then I stopped playing for a good 4 or so years. And yeah, so saw some stuff I like that's coming out, and I thought that would be a good opportunity to jump back in. And I already have 2 armies, but I wanted to try something different. I really like these Tauntaun minis, and I always wanted like an Echo base themed army, so kind of worked out. Jump into Rebels. Yeah, anyone who sticks around here for more than like a month realize I play way too many games and have way too many armies for too many games. You paint every day? Basically every day, yeah. Yep. I stream 4 days a week. It's kind of my average stream time. And sometimes, depends on, I guess my level of burnout, but sometimes I'll stream six days a week. But it just depends on what's going on and what I'm doing and how much I can handle streaming, because it can be exhausting. It's fun, but it can be pretty tiring, especially for an introvert like myself. Get this small brush. Three days a week, nice. Yeah. I had a crazy time when I would stream 2 to 3 days a week. And then I tried for like a month and I was like, I'm going to try streaming every weekday. And so I started doing that. And it was like 4 hours a day, 5 days a week I was streaming. And it was fine at first. I was using it as like an excuse to get a ton of stuff done, like a ton of personal projects and everything. And so I was getting things done. It was great. And then after a month, Twitch must have really liked it, and they threw me into like the homepage recommendations for like the time I was streaming. And it was insane. So I had like the craziest growth I've ever had, and like crazy stream numbers, and like it was wild that it's so many new people coming in, and I was getting like 20 and 30 follows a day and averaging like 40 people watching my stream and everything. And then one day Twitch just removed me from the homepage recommendations, and then I just stopped getting that. It was like a month after that all started. And I was like, man, I can't, like, it's hard to keep streaming then when you just like see your numbers going down. It's a weird thing. Yeah, Twitch really likes it when you're streaming more and more, obviously, because they're getting ad revenue out of it and stuff. I don't know what I was doing. I was messing with Twitch so bad that they had to remove me. Who knows? Okay, let's work on this face a little bit, but that was also a couple years ago, so. $100? I thought it was crazy. Yeah. Every time you reach one of those milestones, it's a big deal. So congratulations on 100. brighter here. Okay. Italics. Step off. Have a great stream. All right. Great to meet you, Adventure Built Gaming. And you have a wonderful day. Hopefully, you'll see you around a little bit. It's great chatting with you. Highlights on the silver. We're doing really well on this progress. Quite happy with how everything's going. Okay, let's see. Let's evaluate here. What else do we have to do? We need to get his insignias, his lightsaber, and not much else really needs touched on this mini. It's looking good though. Very Luke Skywalker, right? I have a comparison picture here. Let me see. I have to fold it just right here. This is the comparison. Cut off his hand. All right, Sector X. So that's the comparison photo that I have. How you doing? There's my Luke. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I'm doing well. Gonna need a little red and a little blue. Just a tiny amount of each, but first we're gonna put a little bit of black, and I know this insignia knock on all three of those spots. At least being a Power Ranger, it's a better universe. When there's a Power Rangers war game that comes out that strikes my fancy, I will totally buy it. Okay. So our blue is there and there. And then underneath, and the rest are red. I can see the Marvel Crisis Protocol crossover with Power Rangers. Stolen Valor? What's Stolen Valor? His ranks? Trying to say Commander Luke Skywalker, who blew up the Death Star, is guilty of stolen valor. Yeah, let's work on a lightsaber a bit. Gonna use this more ratty brush here. So we're 2 coats of white. The old saber ready. In the meantime, more of this light bronze. There, good stuff. And I also need, let's do, what do I do here? I think we just do black brown. We got some black brown down already, and we'll go ahead and base color on this base just to have it down, maybe. Yeah. Sure. So I'm not totally sure materials we're using. I gotta find the materials, but I do know what style of base I want. Start with some brown. Make it kind of like muddy ground with snow patches in it. So it can hopefully fit with the whole army, not just the Hoth veterans. Alright, another coat on the old lightsaber here. some of these colors back here. Going to grab, we'll use transparent blue. Just need a tiny bit. Like that much. In some glaze and wash medium, and then going to mix in some flow improver just to thin it out and help it flow a little better. We'll see if I put too much transparent blue in here. Test it out on the old hand. Let's see. It is pretty strong. Let's dilute it a little more. Drop the glaze and wash medium. That's better. Can you see the difference? Okay, what I'm going to do, here's how I paint lightsabers. You ready? I start with the base of it. Just go all the way around. So one coat done. About 15 more to go. It's barbecue time? Oh, what are you having for barbecue? Sounds good. Oh, steak. Oh, yeah, Mr. Richbone. See, here in the States, well, we don't barbecue steak. Barbecue is a much more specific term. Oops. Dropped a mini. I'm happy with how this mini's turned out, though. It's really good. Gives me hope for the rest of the force. You know what I didn't do? I didn't highlight all the leather on him. Okay. After this next glaze layer, we'll highlight leather. I think that was warm brown. Yeah. Okay, we'll get this. We will get this. It's down. All right. Okay. It's like I feel like I'm missing something. Apparently that's what I was missing. That's good enough for that leather. Let's go another glaze coat here. And all I'm doing is gradually starting at a higher and higher point as I move these glaze layers up. So it looks like a smooth transition. That's it. I think I'm going to do one more coat of blue, and then we'll just call the stream there today. We're getting close to closing time anyway, and I have many more coats I need to work on here. But I will do some basing in my own time. I'll figure out how to do some different basing, and yeah, otherwise I'm really happy with the mini. I am very happy with what I got done, which is essentially the entire mini. And yeah, I'll be on to someone else next on my own time. But before then, we'll be painting some other stuff. Back in lurk mode, model looks great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we're about to close down the stream anyway. The worst part of painting with glazes is just being patient with it. All right. Well, we'll call it there. I will be on tomorrow, painting something. I don't know what yet, but we will be painting. And yeah, you guys have a great afternoon, a great evening. If you are a Patreon member, any paid Patreon member, we do have our hangout tonight. So I'll probably be on around 9 p.m. Eastern. That's about 7 hours from now. So that's probably when I'll be on. But with that in mind, you guys have a great afternoon and a great evening. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.